All right. I have no doubt that Russia or some country or countries, a variety of them, were involved in our election, a bit too much. The only question I ask of Democrats who keep pounding this point is why it is crucial for them to share this information with electors who already know it, and maybe they're going to get more intelligence on it. But unless you have proof that it reversed the election results, that Hillary Clinton would have won without it, and that you have unequivocal proof to do that, then why do you want them privy to this information? To then have them switch their votes? I suspect that might be the real goal here. I just find it odd. And based on intelligence from agencies that haven't always been right. 9/11 comes to mind. Weapons of mass destruction come to mind. Again, I'm not an apologist for either side. I'm just saying, what are you trying to do to get a meeting with electors going before they meet next Monday to decide who will be the next president of the United States? Do you want them to reflect the will of the people in their states or not? What are you saying? To Washington Times Deputy Opinion Editor Kelly Riddell. Kelly, that's where I'm confused. What do you think the goal is here?
The goal is to delegitimize President-elect Donald Trump. Let's just face it, the Democrats have been decimated this election cycle, and since Obama, quite frankly, took office in midterm election cycles. They don't have a plan or a strategy moving forward other than to double down on their attacks against Donald Trump. And so when he gets into office in January 20th, they're going to move forward with the fact that he should never have been our president in the first place, and this is just the beginning of their attacks against him. Because they have no strategy, Neil. They have no strategy.
Yeah, and again, a lot of people say, well, you're just being very cavalier about the role of Russia. I have no doubt that Russia or other countries might have been involved. I don't have unequivocal proof. I'm leery of agencies that say they have unequivocal proof because when it comes to the CIA, they had unequivocal proof about weapons of mass destruction and how a CIA-sponsored attack to take down Fidel, Castro would work, and it didn't, and we had the Bay of Pigs. So I do know that as an agency goes, their sure bets aren't always sure bets. Having said that, I do wonder when I hear political operatives saying electors must be made aware of this, we don't think it will change the results, then why the heck are you pushing for it if your goal is not to change the results? Or to enlighten them so that maybe they do change their votes? What?
Well, and it's all very suspicious, too, with the timing, right? The 10 electors came out and requested an intelligence briefing yesterday, and then an hour later, John Podesta puts out a letter encouraging them to get this intelligence briefing. Who is the letter put together by? It's put together by Nancy Pelosi's daughter, and this is where the movement comes. And then as soon as all that breaks, I get emails from MoveOn.org and the Progressive Committee Council about how we need to brief these electors. So it's all just a move. It's a very organized
and also think, Kelly, if this were reversed, it was the Donald Trump votes who were pitching this, and they, of course, were the ones who supposedly were going to be the sore losers and not honor the rigged election results. Quite the opposite when it's done this way. So leaving that clear bias aside, I'm wondering to what end? I mean, and whether any elector has the right to change his or her vote based on insinuation here. No proof. I think it's fair to say countries or a country was involved, but then you have to make the next leap, and it affected the outcome. If you don't have that part, then you really are on shaky ground here.
Yeah, no, the Russians didn't tell Hillary Clinton not to step foot in Wisconsin after the primary ended, or not to campaign in Michigan. There's some clear strategic problems with Hillary Clinton's campaign. Also, what was hacked was the Democratic National Committee. That's what they think has been hacked by the Russians. John Podesta's emails, even the Washington Post today came out and said that they've identified, intelligence sources have identified who hacked those emails, but they weren't Russian state agents. They were closely related, but not. So it's all very confusing and all just innuendo and insinuation right now on the Democrats' part, and it's all just, again, to drive this home, they're not accepting the election results, and it's to make Donald Trump weaker before he even enters the Oval Office.
Well, certainly to cast doubt. To your point, Kelly Riddell, thank you very, very much.